Queen in fresh health blow as she looks frail with bruised hand during Truss meeting. The Queen broke with royal tradition today to swear in Britain's new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, at her Balmoral residence. Although Britain is well versed in choosing, and replacing, Prime Ministers, the choreography today had an unfamiliar feel, with the Queen meeting outgoing leader Boris Johnson and Liz Truss in Balmoral rather than Buckingham Palace. Pictures showed the Queen smiling broadly as she shook the hand of Ms Truss as the pair met inside the drawing room at Balmoral. Wearing a grey cardigan and pleated tartan skirt, the monarch also clutched a walking stick as she held an audience with the incoming Prime Minister and invited her to form a government. There was also a noticeable bruise on the monarch's hand. It comes after the palace announced last week that the Queen would appoint the new Prime Minister in Balmoral, where she spends her summers, due to mobility issues. With the nation's longest-reigning monarch just 4 years away from her 100th birthday and facing ongoing mobility issues, practical adjustments and last-minute changes to the Queen's diary have become the norm. The Queen, under whose reign there have been 14 prime ministers before Ms Truss, has had to scale back her public appearances in recent months due to ongoing issues, and also spent a night in hospital last October for an unspecified illness. Therefore, Ms Truss made the 1,000-mile round trip to see the head of state and be appointed Prime Minister at Balmoral, rather than making the 96-year-old trek back to London from the Scottish Highlands during her summer break. Ms Truss became UK's third female Prime Minister after meeting the Queen at Balmoral. Later today, she will head to Downing Street to deliver her first speech in office, just hours after Mr Johnson used his farewell address to pledge fervent support to his successor. The Prime Minister followed Mr Johnson to the Queen's Scottish estate and, shortly after he tendered his resignation, she had an audience with the monarch to become the 15th Premier of her reign. Ms Truss' top priority will be to deliver a package of support for households and businesses facing crippling energy costs, with speculation she is working on a plan to freeze bills which could cost tens of billions. Today was the latest in a number of alterations as the Queen continues her duties in her twilight years despite tackling mobility issues. Her Platinum Jubilee milestone was celebrated with millions taking to the streets during a bumper 4-day weekend of national commemorations in June. The Queen served as the uniting focal point for the extended festivities, delighting crowds as she appeared on the balcony. But she was seen in public just 4 times over the weekend, and missed the Thanksgiving service having suffered some discomfort, and then the Epsom Derby and the pop concert. In a written message, she renewed her commitment to serve as monarch, but with the key phrase "to the best of my ability, supported by my family." In May, her son Prince Charles delivered the Queen's speech at the state opening of Parliament, in what was a historic delegation of constitutional duties, and the first time the Queen had missed it in nearly 60 years. Royal doctors will be on hand to advise and keep a close eye on the monarch's health, and Buckingham Palace now often only confirms the Queen's attendance at an event the same morning. During the pandemic, the Queen's working life, conducted from the bubble of Windsor Castle, moved online, with audiences with new ambassadors conducted via video calls, and her weekly audiences with her Prime Minister held as telephone conversations. The switch to virtual royal duties has proved invaluable given the Queen's mobility problems and advanced age, and has continued in some areas, despite the fall in COVID cases, and become a permanent feature of the monarch's diary. Ms Truss defeated rival Rishi Sunak in a vote of Conservative Party members on Monday and will inherit one of the most daunting entrees of any new leader, with Britain on course to enter a lengthy recession due to surging inflation. The 47-year-old is under pressure to set out an immediate plan to protect millions of households and businesses from the soaring cost of energy, and her plan to borrow billions of pounds to soften the blow and cut taxes has badly rattled financial markets. She said, "Thank you for putting your trust in me to lead and deliver for our great country. I will take bold action to get all of us through these tough times, grow our economy, and unleash the United Kingdom's potential." consequences from the soaring cost of energy, and her plan to borrow billions of pounds to soften the blow and cut taxes has badly rattled financial markets. She said, "Thank you for putting your trust in me to lead and deliver for our great country. I will take bold action to get all of us through these tough times, grow our economy, and unleash the United Kingdom's potential."